What's up, my somies? Day 14. I actually had to look back on my last video to figure out what day I'm on, because that's where we're at now. Just got a few more days to go, that's all. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is an idea that was brought up recently in a group of friends in a men's circle that I was sitting in a couple days ago, was on how it's difficult to get to a task that you may not want to do. And in the example that I heard, a friend of mine struggles with practicing his saxophone. Well, the idea to this approach is to just set up and act as if you're going to start, meaning he'll sit down with his saxophone, he'll pull it out of the case, put the reed on and everything, and that's all he has to do. At that point, he can put the sax away. Now, the idea is, at that point, you've just gotten started, so then you can actually tell if you want to accomplish this matter or not. So usually, like in the example, if you are having resistance at practicing your saxophone, you tell yourself, hey, I just need to pull it out of my case. I'll put the reed on, the mouthpiece, or whatever it is, and then I will, at that point, allow myself to put it back. And I think what we're usually finding is that, what we're always finding, it's so difficult to start. Because at that point you go, okay, I have it out, and I'm not putting pressure on myself to practice, so I can just practice. And as with a lot of things, I like to relate it to breath retention or breath holding. And sometimes in my breath retention phases, I like to remind myself, hey, the air's there to breathe whenever you need it. You're allowed to breathe whenever you want, but you're also allowed to sit there in discomfort as long as you want to as well. So at this point, we're no longer programming resistance in the mind. We are giving permission for everything, and the only thing that we're requiring is just to show up and not to perform. And I'm finding that very useful today. For example, I told myself, I'll just get my equipment in my vehicle for the show tomorrow. I'm not going to worry about too much. But instead, I spent like an hour cleaning out my car, sorting all the change, arranging my room after I got all this stuff out of my room and into my car. So it kind of started this cascade effect. So just like with anything, it's hard to start, but once you get going, you realize that it wasn't as difficult as I was making it in my mind. All these barriers and pieces of resistance that I'm putting there, they're not real. They're not real. And the only way to discover that they're not real is just to show up and assess the situation. That's all I got today. Trim my beard today. It was looking a little bit better. I'm getting ready for a wedding, and I'm sure I'll be talking about that more on future videos. Anyways, have a good one, everybody.